Okay, so we're featuring a bodysuit in progress here today. I think this is what we're doing, something like that.
All right, so looks like this is from CJ. This will be 2 different emails because it'll only let me send 5 pictures per email. Sorry.
Yeah, at some point that change happened. It's fucking annoying.
It says, I follow you on YouTube. I am a big fan of your pieces. And then the second one says, here's the video, but I figured it would probably send it blurry for some reason, so I sent
Video
the pictures.
formats are never great for people like sending these in. I almost never use videos. There are the rare times, like we had that the letters feel good, like blackwash one, like that one worked, but it's almost like unless your phone is like using the same exact formats, they either don't play or they're terrible quality.
Yeah, I mean, they just get compressed in email.
Yeah,
like it's just the way it goes.
Photos are definitely the best bet for stuff like this. Unless I was like gonna be watching like split screen like TikTok videos and reacting like
and you don't even do that though.
No, I don't do that shit. I should probably do that shit. I'd maybe have a bigger channel if I did, but here we are.
Right.
So I take it Buddy likes skulls. That's what I'm getting at.
Yeah, I think Buddy likes skulls
anything
too.
About his... No, he just said he just has blurry video. That's the last of it, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's see some more of this before I start flying off here. Okay, so immediately that nipple needs to go. God, man. Yeah, I was just talking about this. We got a guy in here, it's getting like a whole bunch of like black work geometric stuff, like really intricate stuff with Terry. And they're going to go to his chest next because it's the next logical spot.
Yeah, they were just doing his like neck, clavicle kind of area.
And anyway, that he says, he's like, well, if I'm going to do my chest, I want my nipple blacked out. I don't want that. And it's like, well, fuck, that's music to my ears.
Perfect.
Because there's no business tattooing a chest and not doing your nipples. Especially in something that's already got a lot of black in it. It's just like, look at, all you had to do was tuck some black in closer to that horn.
Yeah.
Like or you just build the horn out over the nipple. Like it's very easy to see how that could have been done. Right? Like it's just, at that point, it's a clear decision not to. And to me, it's like, it's one thing if you avoid it because it makes sense or it's not in the way. Even that irritates me. But when it's like, you should have done it and you chose not to. Like, do you remember those portraits we seen on that guy's fucking chest and they had the nipples in the middle of the face?
Yeah, that drives me crazy.
It's like, what the fuck, man? What the fuck? I remember one time I seen a guy got his mother and his father like portraits of them as memorials, and they both had nipples in their cheeks, like
just
middle of the cheek.
Put the
it's
portraits.
Like, it was your mom. Like, you really did her dirty.
Yep.
Like, she never had nipple on her face.
She's a poop face now.
Yeah, like I know, I never met the woman. Maybe she had some rare condition where she had nipple growing out of her cheek. I don't know, but it's a little rare to imagine that both Papa and Mama did. So it's like, find a way to get rid of those fucking things. Would you shade off something? I don't know. Make a silhouette. I don't know what you got to do. You can't have nipples in the middle of a goddamn portrait.
No.
So anyway, I think that skull on his chest is overall quite light for some reason.
I think a lot of this is really, for me, hard to read.
I mean, there are parts that I like a lot. I actually like the overall cohesion of this and like some of the muscle texture, like especially this in here.
Yep.
Like
goes well with the body.
Yeah, like the inside of his chest when he opens up his arm. That looks really cool. And I like the peekaboo armpit tattoo, like having another face in there. Some of that is really cool. I just think that some parts of it are quite light. Like that one skull. Like, look how light he is compared to everything else. I wonder why that is.
I don't know. Trying to get like a difference in tone.
This guy did all of his own photos.
These aren't bad.
He did a pretty decent job. Like, I don't ever try to like embarrass people over their fucking bad photos. Some people, they're not even close. Like, at least I can see what this is.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like, okay, so I said that skull was pretty light out of nowhere, and I think that that's the same problem with the axe on the back here. Like, that is, it's like,
non-existent. It needs some like texture.
Well, they had the right idea, right? Like you can see what they were going for.
Yeah.
I also
Almost
think,
like a negative space. Like,
yeah, I also think that the handle of the axe is too thin, right? Like that's not gonna
that is
fucking.
really weird.
That looks almost like a toothpick.
It's comical.
Well, yeah, it looks like a toothpick, especially next to. And I understand that the gauntlet, like the hand coming up here, and the face are closer to the frame, but like.
To hold that size of an axe, though, you need like a pretty beefy handle.
You need it to be about twice the size.
At least.
Because like it's just gonna break off on impact.
Yeah.
Like it's gonna snap as soon as it gets close to something. But they had the right idea with like they need to double down on the black shading around this top too.
I think so too. I think it needs to be black all the way around the top.
Well, yeah, they were going for a fade out, but they needed to go dark all the way over. Like they just kind of gave up here too. It looks like up there it just kind of didn't happen.
Yeah.
Behind the skull cap. That needs to be solid black and then whip up onto the neck a little bit, right? And then do whatever you want with the neck from there. It's obviously you can still do that, and you can still fix up that axe too. Like this is not a done deal. Whenever you're too light, you can always go darker. So if you're going to do it either way, going too light is better. But whatever shade he used for that axe to get that glow on the edge it's not good enough, right? Like I see the effect they were looking for, and it just didn't happen. So I think a quick 5 minutes on that axe would go a long way. And really, I think that if you're going to use lines, because you did use lines, and some people don't like using them in realism, but there are line weights in this. They're not everywhere. But why would you not define the edge of that axe?
Yeah.
Like that should be one of the sharpest points in this whole tattoo.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out
Same
for
as
a
the horns
second
on
if
the skull cap.
what we're thinking is that line, like the axe handle. I was trying to figure out if that's just the highlight, but it's not.
There's no way. Well,
No.
you wouldn't have that axe just floating there on its own.
Yeah, no, just the highlight of the handle.
Yeah, no, there's no.
Yeah.
Yeah, this here is the handle.
I know. I was trying to figure out if it was maybe just the highlight and we were missing something.
But
it's
they
not.
achieved the effect that they wanted on this gauntlet around his wrist there. Like that's like if they had done that kind of shading and not axe, it's suddenly okay.
Yeah.
But like I don't understand how that front skull is so light and just kind of like forgotten about, but all of these skulls down here have pretty much the right tonality.
Maybe it was too spicy feeling.
I don't know. It's just sometimes I think maybe people struggle with different parts of the body
Yeah,
more.
to get their depth proper. I could see that being a thing.
Oh, like a little peekaboo, basically Remy eye in there. I don't have a patent on teeth around an eyeball, but that's a pretty fucking close.
Oh, I like that one though.
Yeah, it's
That's
cool.
cool. I like
Yeah.
it in the armpit there.
Yeah, I don't like, listen, I wasn't probably the first guy to do that idea, so it's not like, but that looks pretty close to versions of the eye I had at points. But I think that it's cool. I think the eyeball itself should have been bigger and closer to the front. Mm-hmm. Could have done with less black, right? Like why does it have to be so far back?
I like this like smokiness too. I think that looks really cool.
I think that most of the textures on this side on the rib here, all of them could be a bit darker. Mm-hmm. Like all of this gray wash could be a bit darker and it would make for a better contrast with the light source. Again, we've done the same thing here. We framed the nipple this time.
Yeah, they should have just
Like,
ran
you
it
may as
over
well
with
put a
the
fucking
black.
bullseye on
Yeah.
that goddamn thing. It just doesn't make sense. Everything around it is so dark, and you have this natural highlight of this pink fleshy nipple. It's like you were asking for people to find it. Like it's, I never understand framing the nipple.
I tattooed a guy's nipple once, and I've also tattooed his knee ditch, and I think his knee ditch hurt him way
Yeah, the
more
nipple is
than the
overrated.
nipple. Like I mean, and
I would
maybe
rather
he
have
would
my
say
nipple
differently,
tattooed
but
than the knee ditch.
he was
Like
pretty chill.
you're only working on your nipple for like fucking 5-10
I know.
minutes.
Well, I mean, and like I'm not like
At the
very
most.
experienced tattooer, so and we ran his nipple over quite a bit, and he was pretty fine. Like, I think you could do it.
If you can do everything around the nipple, then you're ready to do the nipple. Like, I never understand this, and sometimes it's the artist and sometimes it's the client, but overall, everybody just needs to fucking do the nipple.
I was gonna say that it might have been the artist refusing to do it. Like, some people get a little weird about touching, like, guys' nipples. Like, if they want you to do it, just fucking do it.
You got your hands all over his body. Who gives a fuck?
Yeah.
But yeah, in this striking shot here, the thing that stand out the most to me are the nipples and the unshaded skull.
Just for me, mostly it's the nipple on the dark side. That's all I can see.
It's
screaming at me right
framed.
now. Yeah.
And the other one is obscured and kind of the murk. But
yeah.
I want to assume that this is all unfinished because, like, it gets really, really light through here. Like, that's not... Whatever that shade is not in there.
Yeah, I feel like your torso could use like a second hit on all the light shades.
Well, I remember when Andy was doing my torso, and it was like, man, how many times are we going to do it? Like some people have a hard time saturating really stretchy skin.
Well, stomachs, from what I've experienced,
this
and I haven't covered a lot of the stomach, and I haven't done a lot of men's chests, but from my meager experience, it's not easy. Well, like it can be pretty tricky.
We have basically got two tones running. It's like
skin
solid
and
black and skin. And the shades that we did try to get are very, very washed out. Yeah. Like they look far.
They look like a 20%.
They don't even
probably weren't a 20%.
I don't even know if I would say they look like a 20% everywhere. Because, like, if they were a solid 20%, you would have the same tone everywhere. But in this, we have, even in the same areas, we have in and out. So they're doing a great job artistically. I actually think this is laid out really well. I just think that the technical is a little bit lacking in some of it. Like, it's not quite meeting the mark for what they're trying to achieve, because like this is running parallel to this over here, this horn that's framed in all this black, and then whatever this appendage is up here on the right side of the body here, I guess the left, our right, is very washed out and hard to even reconcile. Like it's tough to see what that even is supposed to be. But like nothing that's in here. That's a cool skull. See, that skull looks better than the one on the chest.
But they're doing a better job on the... Like, I think that the artist, either the artist or, like, the healing, but I think it's more the artist just having trouble saturating
when it's this consistent,
soft shades on the torso there,
when
right?
it's this consistent all over a body of work done by the same artist, it's not the client's healing.
Yeah.
Right? You see the same issues kind of more or less everywhere, and I do understand they want that wing to look soft, but like everything in there could be better if they just committed to a darker tone, right? That it just looks almost like a napkin sitting on his shoulder, where you want it to look like a tattered wing. It has to be a little more grisly than that. But I mean, artistically, I love this, and there's nothing in here that can't be fixed.
I just think it could all use like a second go.
Everything could use more work, and no one wants to hear that.
No.
Like, this guy won't want to hear this. Like,
Probably
no
not.
one ever does. People don't ever want to hear that. They'll be looking at a busted blackout sleeve, and they're like, oh, it looks great.
I'm also curious, because this is like healed tattoo photos. I'm curious what the torso would have looked like fresh, because I wonder if we would have had more of those mid-tones.
I'm sure there's a polarized lens version of this somewhere out there.
Yep. And then the artist like needs to try and like come back into it and bring the make it so that the healed version looks more like the version that was initially tattooed.
Most times the guys that do this stuff, like, they don't want to do it again. Like, they already did it. It's like, oh, it's perfect. And it's like, it's very hard to get, even as a client, when you're asking for it. Sometimes these guys will just be like, no, it's perfect. So it's like, it's going to be hard to...
Maybe.
A lot of times they don't want to. Especially when they've done, like... He probably does this kind of work every day and probably gets a lot of praise for it. And, like, that can be really bad for your ego.
Yeah, but if it's barely there when it heals, like, you know, you want your client to walk around with like nice work.
The thing is like,
not just nice work for the initial photo.
Most people will see this and think this is amazing.
It is amazing, but the midtones are missing.
Look at that wing.
Yeah.
Right? That's not okay.
No.
And this is where sometimes art and technique are not on the same page.
Yeah, unless they're like completely disappearing because of bad photography, but I doubt it.
No, you can't do that much damage with the photo. none of that is in there.
Yeah, I just feel like
So.
the mids just, they were probably there once and they probably just disappeared.
But man, like, this is cool, and I love all of what's happening.
I
It's
love
just,
it. Yep.
It all needs more work. Like, and no one wants to hear it, but guess what? I'm a work in progress always, so I'm the perfect person to give you that. Like, I'm always thinking this way, right? So, I mean, you should take it as honest feedback. Some people get really offended when they hear, oh, and then people get offended for them. Oh, I thought it was cool. Remy's out of his, like, no, it's fucking literally with the best intentions.
Yeah.
I think that another 10, 15 hours, this becomes, it goes from like a 6 to 7 on tech to like a 9. You know what I mean? Like, it just needs more. And sometimes that's what it is. Sometimes you have to put more work into things. Like, I always say, if it's worth doing once, it has to be worth doing as many times as it takes. Or else don't do it at all.
Right.
And this is not finished yet. Right? It's just not. And I don't care if you think it is, then that's fine. You can wear it, and that's up to you. But as far as I'm concerned, it's unfinished. So there's more work to do here.